Hi, I'm Nita, and welcome to the Taylr'D Table. Hello, today we're going to make some carnitas tacos. If you don't know what carnitas are, that's just pork. And I'm going to actually make it in a braising liquid. And we're going to let it slow roast in the oven. It's going to be delicious. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to get my vegetables ready. I have some carrots here. I have 2 carrots. I have some green onions. I have one with the bulb, the big bulb on it. White onion, or you can use I'm using yellow, but you can use a white onion. Also, I have some celery stalks. I have 2 celery stalks here. And I have about 5 cloves of garlic that I'm gonna kind of rough chop and put in there. And I have this green pepper that's actually turning orange on me, but it's still gonna be good. You can use any type of bell pepper that you want. You can use a red bell pepper, yellow, orange, but I'm using this one that's pretty much going on the orange side, but it's still going to be good. And so the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take my vegetables and I'm going to rough chop them, and I'm going to put them in this pot. And you don't have to chop these up real good because of the fact that I'm just using it for flavor. I'm not using it, you know, as far as having it in my tacos. It's just for flavor. So I have 2 carrots here. Okay, the next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take my celery, I'm gonna do the same thing. So I'm just gonna give it a rough chop. These parts up here I don't want. And add it to this pot. There's my celery. And for my green onion, I'm going to leave some of that green out because I'm going to use that for like my garnish or to give me my crunch element on top of the taco later on. But I'm going to take this bulb and put it in there. I'm using 2 types of onions because this green onion gives it a different flavor than the white onion or the yellow onion. And I'm only going to use half of this onion. If you want to, you can use the whole thing. But I'm going to use only half of it since I got that green onion in there. Give that a rough chop. Okay. Gonna place that in there. Clear off my space a little bit. Move this over to the side. So I'm going to take my pepper and I'm going to cut it around the seeds because I don't want the seeds in there. The seeds are bitter. So I'm going to cut it around this seed. And I'm going to rough chop that as well. Get all those flavors in there. And the last thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take my garlic, I'm going to cut the tops of them off. And I don't have to mince it or anything. Like I said, it's just going to be a rough chop. So I can just smash these and give it a rough chop. I'm just cutting off the tops. And I find it easy to peel my garlic just to smash it. I know you've seen a lot of people do a lot of different things. They shake them in bowls or do other types of things to peel your garlic, but I find like this is just easy for me. It doesn't take that much time at all. Give it a good whack. Make sure you get all those peels out the way. And when I smash them like this, sometimes I don't even need to chop that much, especially if I'm gonna use it just for flavoring and it's not gonna be really eaten. Okay. So I have all my vegetables in there. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to season. So in this bowl, I have about 3 to 4 tablespoons because it's going to be a lot of liquid in here. So I'm going to have 3 to 4 tablespoons of my true essence. You can get that off of my website. I'm going to pour that in there. And it looks like a lot, but it's really not, because there's going to be a lot of water in here to cover my pork. I have some cumin in here. I'm going to use half of that. Probably most of it, 3/4 of it. And I also have some chili powder. I'm gonna use about 3/4 of that as well. And here are my bay leaves. I'm using about 3 or 4 of them, but it depends on the size of the bay leaves. Give it good flavor. And the last thing I'm gonna do before I put my meat in here, I'm gonna put water in here. And it's gonna take a whole lot of water. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball it right now. Put that much in there. I'll mix it all together. And what you want to make sure you do is, you want to taste the water. That's why I didn't put the meat in here. I want to taste it to make sure it's seasoned well before I put my meat in here. So you got all those herbs from my seasoning in there as well. The True Essence has the kosher salt. It has thyme, rosemary, oregano. It also has some garlic powder, granulated onion in there, and it has some coriander. So let me taste just a little bit. I'm not gonna get too much. So I can taste the chili powder, I can taste the cumin. I do still need to add more salt in there because it's a lot of water. I'm using kosher salt. It's probably 3 tablespoons of that. Okay, and it's smelling good too. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I have a pork butt. It's not really the butt of a pig, it's a pork shoulder. And what I've done, I've taken this pork and I marinated it in just salt all the way around it. I'm going to take some of the seasoning, kind of spoon it over, and it's going to shrink a little bit. So I'm not worried about that. And it's going to be pretty much submerged in this whole braising liquid. Another thing that I do, I put this in the oven, and I started the oven on 350 for about 30 to 45 minutes. And then I take it and turn it down to like 225 and just let it slow cook for hours until it's done. And when it's done, it should be kind of just falling off the bone. That's how you know when it's done. Okay, so now I'm going to put this top on this, put it in my oven for 350 for about 30-45 minutes. Then I'm going to turn it down to 225, 250 and let it just sit in there for just a few hours, depending on how big your pot roast is or your shoulder is. I usually 3-4 hours But if you want it more, you could do it more. Okay, so of course we're not gonna wait that long to show you the finished product. So I do have one in the oven already, ready for us to taste it. And I'm gonna take this one and just put it in the oven. Okay, so we have taken the pork shoulder or the pork butt out of the oven. This is what it looks like. It looks delicious. I'm gonna show you that you can easily kind of take this apart. As you can see, I don't want to take it apart right now. I'm letting it rest. But all those vegetables flavored this so nicely. And you can just pretty much shred it and put it on the taco, but we're gonna do that later. So while this is resting a little bit, I'm gonna make some guacamole. Now I got a story behind the guacamole. So in the beginning, my husband said he did not like guacamole, y'all. I tried it so many times. He still said, I don't like it, I don't like it. So we end up going to, on our honeymoon, we went to Punta Cana. And we went to a all-inclusive resort called the Melia. If you go, please go to the Melia. We went there. They had this bar pretty much set up. You have drinks, you have all these appetizers and all that good stuff. And guacamole was on the bar. So I decided I'm going to try it again. Give my husband some guacamole. He tasted it and said, oh my God, this is the best guacamole I ever had. Like, really? Like, okay, I've made you guacamole. And he said, I don't know, it's something about it. Something about it. I went there and found the chef and found out what they did to that guacamole. Their limes or lemons, they call them limons, are much different than what we have here. So what I did to kind of reincorporate it or try to get as close as they did to their guacamole, I started using limes and I started using lemon juice. Both of them does it. And a little kicked up sauces like spices too. And I'll show you that in a minute. But I have my guacamole here. So what I'm gonna do is kind of score my guacamole. I go straight down and then I go across. Now you can easily just take a spoon and spoon it out, but I like doing it like this because of the fact that it's already scored for me. Okay, let me get a bowl. And I'm gonna use my knife, but it's better off use a spoon if you're not comfortable with this and just scooping it out. You go all the way around. Spoon it out. Same thing with this one. And I'm gonna show you how to get that seed out too, the easiest way. I'm gonna go straight down. Then I'm gonna go across, kind of scoring it and cubing it. Then I'm just gonna take my knife. And like I said, if this is not comfortable for you, because the knife can go through there, just take a spoon and scoop it out. Another thing about avocados, the way I find the ripe ones, because I don't want the ones that are real mushy. So the way I find the ripe ones are the ones that are ready and not too mushy. Is I squeeze the top of them. So you just kind of squeeze the top, and if it's not too mushy and if it's kind of firm, they're pretty good. You don't want them too mushy and you don't want them too hard, because if they're too mushy, usually around this core it'll be all rotten, so I don't do that. So I'm gonna take my bigger knife here and I'm gonna stab that pit, try to get in the middle, let's go, and then it comes right out. Take a paper towel, kind of pull it off. Do it again here, take it, stab that pit, twist it, and it comes right out. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing here. I'm gonna score it, go down horizontally, Then go down vertically. Take it out. When I make my guacamole, I usually use 2 avocados, because even after I finish with the tacos, I love just dipping chips in it. Okay, and the last one here. Score it vertically and go back horizontally. Just take it out. And then at the end you can probably squeeze it too, and it comes right on out. Okay. So there's the avocado. I'm gonna add some lime juice and lemon, and the lime and lemon with the acidity keeps it from browning, because you know avocados are brown real quick once you take them out of the casing. So this lemon and lime helps keep it from browning, that acidity. Okay, with the lemon, I'm going to squeeze it through my hands because I do not want those seeds to get in there and I have to try to fish them out. And if you have a strainer, you can use a strainer too. Okay. So next, I'm going to take a little green onion, not much, just a little bit. Chop it up finely because I don't want big pieces of green onion in there. And these are the green onions, they have the big white bulbs on them. I'm just going to chop it up fine. Okay, take that, put that in there. I'm gonna take a little bit of red onion, and you can chop this red onion as thin as you want or as small as you want. If you like a chunky guacamole, then you may want to dice them up not as fine. Use as little or as much as you like. This adds texture to your guacamole too, that red onion. I'm just going to dice that up. Try to make sure all the pieces are at least close to the same size. That'll keep it consistent with the taste. Okay, so I'm gonna add that in there, and I'm add a little jalapeno. Do this to your taste level. Some jalapenos can be real hot. You can kind of usually smell it and can tell you kind of how hot it's gonna be, but sometimes that'll fool you too, because I've tasted some that didn't smell too hot and they were. So proceed with caution. I'm gonna start with a little bit of the jalapeno. Not sure how hot it is, so I'm not gonna put a whole lot in here at first. And remember, once you get down into that seed and membrane, that's where the heat is. So if you don't want it real hot, you want to add some more, make sure you take those seeds and that membrane out. Okay, so I added my jalapeno. Get all of this off a little bit. Next thing, I'm going to add a little bit of kosher salt. Just a little bit. And also to mine, I add a little bit of cumin. That's why I saved some for my braising liquid. And I add a little bit of that chili powder. Okay, I'm just going to mix it up. You can mash it if you want it a little, not as chunky. So you can start mashing it. Sometimes when I go to Mexican restaurants, they're kind of creamy. So they really mash it to the point where it's smooth. Not sure if I want to do that today, but it's up to you. And what can help mash it up is to get a fork. So I'm gonna get a fork and kind of help mash that up too. There we go. And now it's becoming a little creamy because that lemon and lime has helped breaking it down too. All right, the last thing I'm gonna add some cilantro. You cannot have guacamole without cilantro. So cilantro is that type of herb, either you like it or you hate it. I love cilantro. I'm gonna take the stems too and just chop it up real fine. I'm not gonna worry about trying to separate the leaves from the stem because I'm gonna chop it up. And it's flavoring that stem, and I can already smell that cilantro too. It smells so good. And once you finally chop it, you can't even really tell the stems are in there. All right, gonna add the cilantro in there. And finish mixing it up. Now remember, all these ingredients you pretty much add to the way you like it. Add it to your taste. If you want more cilantro, put more in there. If you want more cumin, more onions, put it in there. And I said I really didn't want it smooth, but as I mix it up, it's getting smoother and smoother, but it's okay. Still got little chunks in there. Okay. Now I'm gonna taste it. See what it tastes like. That's good. I don't need to add anything else to that. So this is ready. We're gonna make one more sauce and then we'll be ready to plate. Topping, instead of sour cream, I use Greek yogurt because Greek yogurt is more healthier for you. Doesn't have as much fat and it's still good. You can't tell the difference really. So I'm gonna put some sour cream in here. This is probably about a cup of sour cream. Well, not sour cream, Greek yogurt. And I use the plain Greek yogurt, so make sure when you get it, don't make sure it doesn't have vanilla in it or anything like that. It's just the regular plain Greek yogurt, because the vanilla and all those flavorings that they put in there would not work with this. The next thing, I'm going to put a little bit of lemon. I know that the Greek yogurt is like a little tart, but that lemon brings some freshness to it. I also put a little bit of lime. It just goes great with the flavor and for Mexican cooking. I'm also going to kick it up a little bit with some chili powder. Just a little bit. And some cumin. Just a little bit. So instead of using sour cream, like I said before, I use Greek yogurt. Can't really tell the difference. Even when my boys were younger, I put this on their tacos instead of sour cream. They couldn't tell. This is something easy to make, to put on top of your tacos. You can put on top of nachos. Very easy and simple. And this would just be in the place of our sour cream. And those specks in there makes it pretty too, when you top it off on your tacos or top it off on your nachos. Okay. That's pretty much it. We're getting ready to put our tacos together, and we will be back in a second. Okay. All right, so now we're at the final stages. So we are going to take out our pork. It's been sitting here resting while we were making our sauces. And I'm gonna use these spoons so it won't fall apart on me. Place it in here. Cover this back up. And I'm going to take 2 forks, and what I'm just going to do is just start shredding it. See how easy it's shredding? And how pretty that pork is? And tender. I had this cooking, I know, probably about 4-5 hours. And that's all I used was the pork butt, or it's the pork shoulder. That little fat part, I'm just going to take that over there. So it doesn't take long to just separate that and get that ready for the tacos. All right. Now I'm going to place this over here, and we are ready to plate. So what I'm going to do is take these small tacos shells, or the tortilla shells. These are soft tortilla shells. And I'm going to take these and just put them in the oven just for a little bit so I can toast them just for a little bit. We toasted these just a little bit. I put them directly on the rack and just get it a little bit toasted. You don't want them too toasted because they'll start crumbling on you when you fold them. So I have my 2 tacos here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of this gorgeous pork and just layer it like that. And I just make a little line here. I don't want to put too much because I don't want to make them so full that I can't fold them. A nice little line right here. Uh-oh, gotta save that. Put a little bit more on this one. Okay. So here I have some pico de gallo. This is just a little onion, jalapeno. You can put some green pepper in here. You have tomatoes, lime juice. You can put lemon juice, green onions, and you can put also some cilantro in here. And this is just a pop of freshness. So I layer that on top. I'm just gonna use this fork right here. All right. Also, I'm gonna put a little bit of guacamole. Just a little bit on top. And you have all this freshness shining through to bring that pork out. A little bit of green onion that we had saved from when we cut it up in our braising liquid. Okay. Gonna put like that. And then I'm gonna top it off with a little dollop of the sour cream. Well, not sour cream. I'm sorry, my Greek yogurt substitute. Don't need much, just a little bit of that. Then I like a little kick, so I'm gonna add some extra jalapeno there. And like I told you before, I love cilantro, so I'm gonna put some extra cilantro in there. But you can make this the way you want to. You can add whatever you want. You can leave out whatever you want to leave out. And the last finishing touch, a couple of fresh radishes. That brings out the flavor too. The crunch element is so important. And before you fold it up, this is what it looks like. And so we're gonna have a taste tester come. We got a surprise. We got a taste tester coming. He's supposed to be here by now, but he's coming. Just hold on for a minute. Here he is, y'all. He came to taste the carnitas. So I'm gonna fold it for him so it won't like go rushing out. And I'm gonna let you taste. Take a real big bite, baby.
Okay.
Yeah, I folded it at the bottom.
All right.
You like that? 10 out of 10. See, he's a Mexican like food connoisseur, so you know his opinion is greatly appreciated.
11 out of 10.
Oh my God, today. Okay, now the cameraman is not gonna come around the front, but he got one too. So you just gonna hear him, y'all.
Let me see what it's talking about.
See what it's talking about. And you can squeeze some lime on that too if you want to.
Perfect.
He said it's perfect.
I'm gonna take one of these home with me.
We gonna make you about a couple of them for you to take home with you. So that's it, y'all. Quick and easy carnitas. You can just throw it in the oven in that braising liquid. Let it cook. Let it simmer for as long as you like. Then come and just throw it together real easy, real simple. Thank you so much. Remember to like this post if you like it. Share it, please, if you like it. Let me know if you try it. I appreciate you. Have a good one.